Hey everybody, I just want to take a quick look at our file structure for the admissions video project. So I'm in my IDM S18 folder, Intro to Digital Media Spring 2018, and I have my admissions folder with my last name. I'm going to double click into that. I have an audio folder, a footage folder, and a Premiere folder. Remember, it's really important to set up our file structure in a way that's intuitive, and it also keeps everything in place so that Premiere can always find the files that we're referencing in our projects. So in my audio folder, I have a music folder and a voiceover folder. In my voiceover folder, I already have my voiceover in there. I'm going to show you in a minute how to bring in my music. In my footage folder, I have an academics folder, an arts folder, and an athletics folder. So I loaded all of your computers up with a bunch of footage. You can see it's broken down into subject area for academics. For arts, it's broken into different mediums. And for athletics, it's broken into each sport. There are about 1,000 clips here that we can go through and use in our projects, and if there's something specific that you still want that you're not finding in there, let me know and I'll try to find it. In our Premiere folder, this is where we're going to put our Premiere project. So I haven't started mine yet. I'll show you how to do that real quick. But first, let's get our music into here. So let's go into our audio and then our music. This folder is completely empty. So I'm going to go to the Unit 3 page on our class site and find in the resources section the licensed music link, and I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring up this folder. And I know that I'm just going to use probably a 60-second track, which is going to be found in the short tracks folder, so I'm not going to bother downloading the full tracks. I'm going to right click here on my short tracks and say download, and it's going to zip that up. It's going to take a minute because it's pretty big. Okay, so our folder's all zipped up. Your computer might automatically download it to your downloads folder on your computer. If that happens, you can go find it in there and then place it where you want it, which is in our music folder. But my browser is set up to ask me where I want to save this file. So I'm going to go back to my audio and then my music folder, and I'm going to say save. Now, this is going to save a compressed folder, so it's zipped up, and Premiere can't read a zipped up folder. So if we tried to double click into here and then go into here and then, drag all of these files into Premiere, Premiere would not be able to recognize them and you get an error message. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go back to the folder that has this zippered icon next to it, and we're going to right click on it and say extract all. And then I want to browse and find a place to put them. So let's go into our IDM S18 admissions RIFI, audio, and then music, and I'm going to say select folder and extract. So it'll take a minute to unzip all of those files. And now we can see in our music folder we have this premiumbeat.com short tracks folder, and this has all of the files in it that are readable by Premiere. So let's go ahead and start our project. I'm going to open up Premiere. And I'm going to say new project. I'm going to retitle it to admissions and then my last name. I'm going to hit browse, and I'm going to find the right place to put it, which is IDM S18 into my folder, into the Premiere folder, and then select folder. We don't need to change anything else here. The only thing we need to change is the name of the project and where we're saving it. I'm going to hit OK. And then our familiar interface will come back up. So I'm going to pull in all of my footage and my audio. So I'm just going to click on audio and then shift click on footage and drag both of these into my project window. Now that that's done, we can see that we have our two folders in here, and within the audio folder we have our voiceover. I'm going to pop that into another folder. Whenever there's one clip in a folder, like there is in our voiceover folder here, for some reason Premiere just gets rid of that folder. So I like to keep it organized. So in audio I want to have the same structure with voiceover, and then we'll put this in another folder and call it music, and make sure that that's in our audio folder. So we have audio with music and voiceover, just like we have in our file structure. And then for footage, same thing. We have all of our file structure in here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our voiceover and we're going to drop it into our timeline to make a sequence. And I'm going to make sure that this link selection is turned off, so it's white, not blue. And I'm going to select the video track and I'm going to delete it because we just want the audio from this voiceover. And one last thing, our sequence has been put into our voiceover folder because we started the sequence with the voiceover track, and it's also taken the same name as that clip. So what I want to do is first I want to rename it to SEQ for sequence dash cut 1. And then I'm going to create one more folder. I'm going to call this sequences. And I'll drop my sequence into that folder, pull that folder aside, and now our file structure looks like this, where we have audio, footage, and sequences, and that way we can just stay really organized. So this is our project setup. I'll go into more detail about what we're going to do on this project in future videos. Thanks for watching.